shelves. You entered the black light, exited the mass. You entered the black light, exited the mass. Yo, we back again. If you're throwing in the towel, then you
go out and do it again.
We need the Holy Spirit. Please let the chaplain in. Here at the front door, chilling with a childish grin. We can now begin. Now the truth be told, we're riding on the light to let the youth get old. And following the one that will soothe your soul and take your bad situation and improve your role to release your flow. It's a long stretch to loosen all the nooses from the baby's necks. And tell the young ladies they should save the sex. And tell the young guys not to break their neck for the place of sex, but get the paycheck. And real women really don't play that. A wise lesson learned really, really way back. I used to okay that. The Lord saved me, Jack, from a life of whack. Come on. Into the black light, exited the mass. Oh, you entered the black light, exited the mass. You're a king. Yeah, you might want to start paying attention on this next verse. You a king to the black light, exited. Give me your attention for a minute. Damn. Come on. We from the same cut, but playing different positions. Our top secret message got the president attention. Do what you do, just make the good folk listen. And trust me, yo, it's not about who you kissing. There is a plan to see you chewed up and shit out. The devil's burning red from the fire that we spit out. We on to get up, the hell with that down low. Cherish the gift of the wisdom that we found, yo. Still on the mission with the daily agenda. Your head's been cloudy, so I doubt you remember that I walk with the king of kings beside me. Just like the root in India, I read. I volunteer, no, the Lord didn't hire me. It is the spirit that inspired me. Water of life to show the chief where the fiery. We have no time for those that be acting grimy. Yeah, I get it. You see the light now? Boy, I've been talking to y'all for a while. You see, you thought this was for like some type of game. Man, revolution. Yeah. When you free your mind, your ass will follow. That's for real. And some of y'all locked up so bad, don't nobody have to put chains on you. Hell, you chain yourself down mentally, spiritually. Come on, free your mind, dude. You a king. Free your mind, chick. You a queen. Let me get something with some feel to it, some funk to it. Come on. I think I like that. Can we get some heavy drums in there? More like Caribbean, Caribbean. Yeah. Yes, bounce to this. I'm just a black man, title, yo, you give me that. I like them imports, never push the Cadillac. And would you figure, Mr. Man, while you're kicking back with sick plans to get you stacked, making chickens fat? You know you into that, chilling with your timber cat. Intoxicated to the point, fast, simple acts. Be very nimble, jack, or get a water back. And have your heart broke just like
Lewis, what's up, baby? They hiding. I might have to go out and come back in, man. If you want to hear, because I know T was supposed to come over and a few other people, and I see one, so that means the idiots did it again. Can't help it. I guess they trying to figure out, they got their little test numbers and want to see how long they live or whatever. I don't know. Like I said, it goes up the chain. Put a 1, man. Because I just go out and create another one. Yeah, I can see you, but I know more people said they were coming in. They were like, because I had to let them know. T, what's going on, beloved? Appreciate it. Because they, they messing with everything, man. That's their power, bro. And cult mysticism. The darker and deeper they go. Knowledge, right, means ascertaining light, knowing. Darkness means the absence of. These people are in dark. It doesn't matter about materialism and everything they have. It is not the truth of existence. It doesn't matter what realm or power or whatever. Are they looking for the 1? Maybe. So what? Just remember that. I mean, my mushroom pasta, but I can't eat a whole lot of pasta because, sugar really, it ain't so much the sugar. It's that they've changed a lot of things. All these food corporations and everything, they're putting carcinogenic stuff in the food, create more cancers, even the vegetables. I'm glad I got a lot of frozen stuff, but still. I told you they're not smart.
I hate beer, but I used to drink the brew heavily until the little habit turned deadly. I used to have a bud every day and all week, intoxicated to the point where I couldn't hardly speak. So little knowledge, that means hold your head, let the past stay dead, and keep a level head, and don't be misled. Remember most of what I said. I'm hot like the times in the rock, but you gotta stop from working on your block.
A lot of sauce. So good, you know. Ah, Grand Ascension, you already know, beloved. It's they like messing with stuff, but it's all right. Want to get a little read on? I'm gonna run out, and I'm gonna come on. I might read again a little later. Baby girl. Baby girl had to tell me that the daylight stuff went back the other Sunday, but I was like, what? When I tell you I don't follow the days on time, and trust me, when I see people talking about happy birthday, I'm like, you goofy. And these are people who have heard me say something about it, and right along, especially in the indigenous community, all of them, oh, happy birthday to me. Oh, you bum. We saw individuals talking about, I'm Aquarius, I'm Cancer, I'm Gemini. I'm like, why don't you shut up? They don't get it.
Walk this walk, there's no need to spaz. Your nose bleeding while I'm beating your ass. You in the cesspool. Hope you can see.
They're not the smartest with cookies, bro. They don't get it. They don't get the curse that's over them. That they can remove themselves from the curse, you know? This is so good, y'all. Pesto and homemade basil and tomato sauce. Oh.
Yes.
I can't eat a whole lot of tomato sauce with certain stuff in it because my joints really act up that, you know, I have problems with, you know. And I be like, sometimes I'll be laying there, I be like I grab my knee and be like, and I start slacking it and rubbing it. And I go out and ground, get barefoot, goes away. Then it comes back. I mean, you know. And when you see me go like this, I get angry. And I step up and I stomp it. Oh, worst thing, don't do it. I'm just different. And then I'll be like, okay, it's passed by. I'm not checking myself, make sure I'm not stressed. Okay, the body's not stressing, okay.
Why don't black superstars simply give back when they know it's a struggle just to live black? Can you picture that?
So I gotta run out. I really don't want to because I know that I know things, but I have to. No, I'm not talking about no fear. No, I'm talking about I don't feel like really going. I'm gonna sit here, go outside. The sun gazed twice today. I didn't ground this AM. I'm gonna do a late night ground as long as it doesn't do that fake ass rain with the chemicals and poisons and toxins. It's in the dirt, but I know how to turn the dirt. Something that has to be done. And a few other things I can't mention. I know y'all see this, right? Yeah, it's working on something.
It's like we died inside, no longer having pride. We're still for rides, a new skill to hide. And like the red tide, go and get our heads dyed.
Like the red tide, go and get our heads dyed. That means take a dive in, you know what I'm saying?
Let alone coincide. Eat chicken many ways, but prefer it fried. Like your man on death row when his relatives cried. It's death a mistake because somebody lied. And we can only pray that Christ is by his side. Convicted on the statement implied with no proof. Now will the warden cry that he killed another youth?
Christ.
I truly doubt it. That's why we stay in the booth. Just cause it ain't enough. We should demand
Ground.
proof.
The conceptualization, not the conceptualization, but the not the conceptualization, but the conception. I wonder if that's for me. Oh, it's for that story. The conception. You gotta reconnect. You know what I mean?
And my music,
like the Japanese said, behind every goddamn blade of grass.
The suppressed rising, the oppressed rising up against.
Is it good, Papa?
That's all. That's what my music's about.
No, I'm gonna get you some different ones.
Rising up against the oppressor.
Yeah, you like
the only
that?
people that's scared
That's
of the oppressor.
Yes.
The only people who can have any
I need fresh water.
are those who are
No, fresh water, Papa. Pressure.
No way, lesser. Drop the oppressor.
Meek, no surrender. You come in, speak.
No way, lesser. Drop the oppressor.
Try not to eat all this at one time, because this is like 2 servings. Like 2 people can eat this. And for those who aren't aware, this is my 2nd meal, actually. And probably my last for the night. That is so good. Oh my God. That's so good. Let's go ahead. We're at over 10 minutes. Let's go ahead and get the read on everything. But first, I want to mention a few things. If you watch History Channel, you're doing yourself a disservice. I was looking at a documentary connected to the History Channel about Rome. Nothing but an abundance of goddamn lies. They can't help themselves. Just every bit of it. Just the George Orwelling factor. They're stronger than anything. It doesn't mean that pale skins didn't exist. If you could pit 2 of the greatest, the 2 most powerful against one another, and you could subjugate everybody else, if you could turn the tides of history, it's true. In the antebellum time, most pale skins came here they were indentured to us because we were saving their lives. No slaves. But the way the so-called pale skin slave narrative is a reality because they were mismanaged by the Moors. The orcs don't belong to the pale skins, even though you hear Terry Wisdom and certain individuals state that. That belongs to the fallen of the melanated. Because the pale skins are melanated. It doesn't matter what you think or what you believe. I don't care how you feel. They're our brothers and sisters. But we cannot be racist. We didn't create it, nor it was deemed and made for us. And most of it, arrogant and ignorant. This is a FBI or a CIA, more covert agreement upon by the League of Nations and Theosophical Society to create it and then transpose it. That means to reverse it in the presence of everybody. So whenever you hear pale skin say, "Man, y'all racist," you tell them to go on about their business and shut the fake light up and stay in the darkness, in the mode of not knowing. The Jannah, no knowledge. Because see, they'll only say that because they believe, because they shook and jived and danced with you, which should be natural in the first damn place. Because pale skins got rhythm. Don't think they don't. But we're the rhythm makers. We walk with a certain rhythm. It is more natural with us. Not saying it's not with them. That's just foolish. But we're not, how you say it, we're not that, I don't want to throw the stain, and I don't have to say bad things and to negate negativity. That's not what it's doing. Truth is true. We articulate it better. You know what I mean? We're not animatronic art. You know what I'm saying? It's fluid. Majority with us. Well, there are some melanated cats. I don't know what they be doing. I think they're wearing a skin suit and they just can't get it. But anywho, we can never be racist. Never. We can exempt, and that is the sins of the Father. We can exempt an act we believe deemed righteous in the eye of the beholder at the time or the moment. And it should never come out the way it does. Yet it's going to, because most of them run around as if they actually are superior, and they're the farthest thing from it. More of our people have high IQs and everything else than them. More of our people, 100 of hours to every one of them. It's just a reality. And the enemy knows it. That's like this fake government. They're all part of this goofy cabal and Zionists or whatever the smack, and any actors who keep the same show going. The issue at hand, I'm not surprised at the people who support these fake parties and everything. I'm not surprised at all. Because they have something to lose and something to gain. The gain, what they have to gain is personal, but it's not fluid with everybody around you. The pale skins still holding on to a narrative that was always a lie from the beginning, and not knowing that they were being used as a crux. And they didn't accomplish a lot of things, except a lot of things were done in a sneak. You know, you think about in New York, they found a giant ship that has a name. You can look it up. And it was built for speed. But you know they want to write a misguided narrative. It's one of our ancient ships. Just like the subs they dug up on this soil that belonged to us. And they don't want to teach in the schools, therefore nobody knows it. Reverse engineering, all of our old world technology. And Pelskins were right along with us. It doesn't matter. But they didn't rule not a damn thing. Ruled beside, learned, that's about it. But they didn't rule nothing because it took purity, a righteous heart and a righteous mind. A good brother of ours, Urban Indian, shared something with me about this Jamaican talking about the XX gene and the XY gene. I'm not here to bust nobody's bubble for those who are still in the matriarch, patriarch nonsense of stuff. That is not ours. Even though I was born into a society, a clan, a tribe of maternal. Maternal has nothing to do with matriarchal. Even though I expressed to you the woman's position as long as she is not emotional. Emotional women means the downgrade and the downfall of our society because now it afflicts everybody. And that was systemically done over a period of time using melanated and fake and them people, right? But they first had to attack the men. And then once that's done, then now you can start taking up to 200,000 children. 200,000 children every day. Every day, 2,000 children go missing. Do you know how much that is in a year? Well, times 2,000 times that 364. How many children is that a year go missing? A little over 3/4, right? Of a million. Where do you think they're going? Besides being groomed to be great armies, but to feed what and who? Y'all don't get it, do you? Not all of them work out. Experiments and everything else. Groomed 12, 15 years, 16, 17 years to be in control of those black site islands, to have no emotions or feelings for you, to see you other than, to be part of the greater lie, even if it's your bloodline, to not know it. These things have to happen for them to stay the course of what they're doing. To rear up soldiers who run around with certain vehicles you know nothing about, disconnected from you, made to believe they come from another place because they patrol those places. They're trained and subjugated to be less pain and given better food and everything else to enact. And every once in a while they come here and they move amongst you to see what it is, knowing because they've been groomed to do this. This is not a lie. No, if you only knew. Y'all have to ascend. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the reading. I don't want to be too long. I could talk forever. All right. So the XX, XY, you need them both. By the narrative of their fake science, which is actually ours, you need them both. It brings order. How can you have XX and then have XY if the XY didn't mate with that to make the XY? To say that the XY means something is missing? No. They want to say that the Y, because there's only one leg, it's missing a second leg. That is hoopla, a bunch of nonsense. The XX means something that can, the womb of something, the womb of civilization, if we want to use the term civilization. The Y, right, means that which stands alone, not by itself. That means that it can hold its own, but it needs the X, and it's bigger than you can even comprehend. But it's so simplistic because there's no need to. This is a curse of them. You don't have to figure it out. This is the downfall of our people. You don't need to know. Now they're pushing for the world is holographic. Do never listen to these incumbents, these idiots, because your sponge-like brain that still has a little bit of sponge in there, a little loofah that can still absorb stuff after they've solidified all the nonsense with the other, does not need to buy into that hysterical lie. You are physical and you are sentient. You are one and the same, the greatest of expression. When you do that, you deny not only the Christ of your existence, the Lord that you are over the host, the temple, and the witness to bear over the land. Want me to go deeper? I wish some Mason was in here so we can script this and I can break down their little fake narratives. Okay, I guess it's not in here with the little goofy ring. Anyway, your light is the process the process of evolution, which is the greater understanding of self, not the divergence of the two. Okay? Nothing else and nothing least. All right? So stop listening to these weird people out here giving you these spills that fits a narrative that has nothing to do, close to truth. And I'm not saying they shouldn't walk the path to find enlightenment. But once you attain it, you don't stop and start throwing information all around, because this is what we get. We get these people that go, and then you get these other people who come all automated, and bite into it with dentures with no polygrip. Okay? So what do you get? Just a lot of hot air. All right. Let's go ahead and get into it. Excuse me. Exposing the Expositions of 1851-1915, the revised 2021 edition from its 2019. We know this. 5 years since this. Okay? And 3 years since this by Howdy McCalsey. Supposedly, I'm looking to see, and supposedly it's supposed to be something else out. We'll get to that. That's the Court of Honors. They call the White City, which was create the fake new white superiority that didn't exist in the 17, 16, or 15, which is the 6th, 7th, and 8th century. Because when they tell you about Rome, they say in the 8th century. That's what they mean as far as to create a new narrative by adding 1,000 years to make you look further back into a false narrative. When fake Rome over there, we had a bigger Colosseum over here in Chicago, right? Bigger Colosseum over here that they had to destroy and make and divide everybody so they don't know the peace we had and unification and unity we had because of these idiots like Theodore Albert Herzl and so forth, and going back to the fake Rockefeller, who is Carnegie, as you know, and so is the Rothschilds and the Vanderbilts and there's quite a group of them. The Carnegie, what do they call Carnegie? The Carnegie. That's a family. They're all liars. All right, remember that. So let's get into it here. But there is more insanity. If you didn't listen yesterday, well, here you are today. But there is more insanity. Just 10 years after the Columbian Exposition was torn down, firebombed, Chicago built, you guessed it, a giant amusement park, a park they called the White City, in 1905. It included, of course, Beaux-Arts-style buildings, a basin, and a giant electric tower. They made the exposition in miniature. Why? Obviously, most of the amusement park was for whites only. The park went bankrupt in the Oppression, and only the roller rink stayed open, which interestingly became a part of the early civil rights movement in the 1940s as large demonstrations occurred in order to allow so-called blacks to join the so-called whites in the rink. Again, the complete detail of these expos are available in numerous free books on the internet. What this investigation is doing is trying to take those sources and find what in them can help us understand something deeper about the purpose of these fairs and why they have been presented historically as they have been. Okay, now I need you to remember where it states 1905 is actually 905. And that's pretty much roughly right before that, around antebellum, around 1975 is when racism was actually incorporated, because you got to remember the people that was destroying all the people, the melanated people all around the world, and forcing them into the place which you now call Africa, that was once Akbulon or Ethiopia. That's right. That's where they were forced to, and most of those Negroes, those Nagas don't even know it. Only a handful do. They came here with the nonsense. Okay? So why did I spend so much detail on this fair? Well, as you can see, it was partially due to the size of the event. So many buildings, so many items, so many people, to really question it. If, in fact, all of these buildings could have been built in 2 years as suggested, and to keep that in mind as we continue to look at the United States fairs that allowed after Chicago, especially Nashville, Omaha, Buffalo, St. Louis, and San Francisco, each of these has similar massive buildings. More strange construction photos, odd events happening within the fairs, and all the cities overcoming great fires, or in the case of San Francisco, a very hard to understand earthquake. Lastly, the book will conclude with a look at ancient Rome and what and where these expositions may have been trying to specifically emulate, along with a bit of a glossary of terms. And we'll get into that. And that Tennessee exposition, when you look at that, you would think you are literally walking in Rome. And we'll look into a picture. I will actually go into my book here. The one that I was did I actually get back upstairs? I think I took it back upstairs, guys. Oh no, it's right here. We'll get back into Shep's World, because I was marking things in there. Shep's World Fair photographs being a collection of original copyright photographs authorized and permitted by the management of the World Columbian Exposition, which is Chilagua. All right. And they have some of these pictures in there. And the Tennessee exhibition, like I said, and Chilagua as well, looked like it was greater as far as the perception of what's perceived to what they call Rome today. Okay. And that'll be chapter 5. We'll look at those pictures. I'll share them up on here. Let's get into Heaven Bearers. The Great Reset of 1834 and the Mud Flood by Janine Helen. All right. Herbo, what's going on, beloved? There she is, Janine Helen. Lloyd, what's going on? What's going on, Manishi? J Nature, what's going on, beloved? What's happening? So anyway, let's go ahead and get the read in. Not making it click. For those who didn't come in earlier, just go ahead and go back and watch it from the beginning. I made some statements and stuff, and you might agree, you may not. It's not for me to interpret whether you agree or not. Okay? But do your research and see what you find. So we're in chapter 19. Okay? The war has started. All right. It will be bitter and cold, and many will die. The mud flood reset the entire world and paved the way for a new age. The New World Order. This war, however, it will be bitter. Listen to this. It will be bitter and cold, and many will die. The mud flood reset the entire world and paved the way for a new age. The New World Order. This war, however, has the potential to destroy an entire race of people, erasing history completely and setting the world on fire. Bonnie knows that this war isn't preventable, but the collateral damage needs to be mitigated as best as possible. Innocent people should never die, but they do. Innocent people always suffer the most during war. She can feel the weight pressed down on her shoulders. It will be up to her and the twins and Cassiel. Fight with me, Tree of Life. I need you now more than ever. I can't do this on my own. She shouts out, hoping she will hear her pleas, while she struggles against the snowstorm. She feels the snow start to melt between her fingers, and she knows the Tree of Life is still there and able to help her. She feels a sense of relief rush over, and her eyes turn the snow bright blue. She stands up. It's her eyes that did. That's a misquote. She stands up, and an invisible sphere forms around her, blocking the wind and snow from touching her body. And she takes one giant leap forward. She lands hard on her feet, stumbles forward, and lands on her knees. She looks back at the mountain that she just leaped off of and watches the sky turn black. Malcolm! She screams as loud as she can, and her voice doesn't sound like hers at all. It is deep, and it echoes across the whole plain and strikes the heart of everyone in the settlement. She starts running as fast as she can towards the settlement and watches how the snow around her melts away, making way for a path for her to follow. The war has begun. She mutters under her breath for Malcolm and Cassiel to hear. She is terrified, and they can feel her fear in those four words. The war has begun. Cassiel looks out into the distance and can see Bonnie running up towards him. The clouds forming are dark and heavy, and the air becomes extremely cold. Everything starts freezing all around him, and he knows the war is already lost unless Bonnie has a miracle under her sleeve. The ground starts cracking as it freezes over, and a woman screams out in pain. He looks in the direction of the scream, and it stops suddenly, leaving the lady frozen dead in the very spot where she lay. She didn't even get the chance to run away. It all happened so fast. He tries to stop it, but he can do nothing at all. Bonnie stops just outside of the settlement, and with all her might, she slaps her hands together. Nothing happens. She tries again, this time in conjunction with a deep breath, and every pain receptor on her body activates at once. Her hands are on fire, but she isn't burning, and she pulls her hands apart and blows the flame over the settlement. The flame forms a burning dome around them that keeps everything warm, but sets nothing on fire. She can feel the heat radiate from the burning wall of fire and turns around to watch the storm coming. There are giant shadows forming in the distance. The sky starts to crackle, and her heart thumps in absolute fear. It will be all right, Mama. A voice startles her, and Emil takes hold of her one hand, and Amelia takes hold of her other. They are 7 years old already, and their eyes glisten with the same fighting spirit of their mother. The three of them stare out into the distance and watch closely as evil descends onto the earth. Her neck feels warm suddenly, and she feels his breath on her. You are not alone in this body. Both Malcolm and Cassiel are suddenly there behind her, and they stand ready to do whatever is necessary. Cliffhanger. I know you're like, wait a minute, Red. Cliffhanger. Next time when I go live, don't sit there pondering. Come in. Come in, have a seat, and listen. Ain't like you're going to hear anything worthwhile anywhere else. You're going to hear a lot of conjectures and supposits and what's tos and this, that, and the other. I wish y'all to wake up out of that coma and realize that for once. The thing, we are Indian and blah, 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 blah. You tired of that by now? It's so much more than some goddamn Indian. Let the whatever be Indian. They want to be disrespectful, not knowing your truth. I know thousands of people in South America know you're the original people of this land. You think I'm worried about the handful that don't? Come on. Come over here and get some good tea. All right? Stop being that at the Ponderosa as if Zeke or somebody's going to bring you a brand new steer. All right? Seriously. Marcus, what's going on, beloved? Got you, Hans. Snoo, that's my love. I sent you a message letting you know I was going live. Check your Grizzly Morals. Salute. What's going on? Careful. What's happening, beloved? It's good to have y'all in here. I hope that y'all enjoyed the reading. Like I said, if I send a message, if you know that I'm going to go read, always check in. We don't let them control the narrative. I'm not going to say anything to remove the channel. I'm not going to do a whole lot of cursing. Only in the morning when I do my grind my gears thing. And that's about it. So be mindful. All right? There's other things I wanted to share. I'm not going to. I'll save them for later. Okay? Let there be a lesson learned. All right? Give TikTok a fucking break. Let Instagram fucking sleep for a moment. All right? You're frying your fucking noodle, even if you think you're not. Unplug your fucking TV. Unplug your fucking modems. Okay? Appreciate y'all. Take a little goddamn advice. I gotta run out. And I'm gonna read a little bit later. Need to read the other stuff. Gotta get back on Will Cooper. You know what I'm saying? And the Negro Project. All right? And if you donate, like I said, today is what's today? Tuesday? Thursday? Friday? No, Friday? It's not tomorrow. I don't want to look. But whatever today is, I'll check, like I said, Thursday. And if the donations are up, then I'll go ahead and Friday, I'll order the books. I found that book I was talking about in France. It's on the phone. So they have, I think it's only one copy and nobody else knows about it. So I'm not going to tell you where it's at. And I'm going to order that just for my personal. Yeah, thank goodness I didn't really. I mentioned something, but you're not going to find it. I was like surprised that I was able to go up in the Google and type in France and the book popped. I was like, thank goodness. Oh my goodness. Like I said, you know what it's like to buy books that are still in pounds and francs and all, whatever the franc. You know, but anyway, so FedEx. I've been waiting on something for a while. I can't remember what it is. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Appreciate y'all. I'll be right back. I'm going to put that in the fridge because I don't want to eat all of it. I got to really watch what I eat. All right. And so again, I can't wait for those of you coming this weekend to come. I'll be most appreciated. And we'll extrapolate on that. Don't worry, the podcast is set up. God damn it. When they get here, that's when we're doing the fucking podcast. I'm not in a rush. Are you? See y'all in a little bit. All right, love y'all. Shah says too. What's going on, beloved? How you doing? Appreciate it. Appreciate it, beloved. Already knocking.